United States Deputy Assistant Secretary for Southern Africa, Matthew Harrington, says he's encouraged by developments in Zimbabwe since a change in leadership last November and believes that next month's elections present an opportunity for the troubled country to set itself on a new political and economic path.
The election on July 30th will be one important benchmark of whether the political environment of the past is changing for the better. We welcome President Mnangagwa's public commitment to ensure the election is free and fair.
The U.S. maintains what it terms targeted sanctions on Zimbabwe imposed back in 2003.
The sanctions regime is targeted, and it's based on those that we think have not played a part, have undermined the building of democratic institutions. So there are no comprehensive economic sanctions in place on Zimbabwe.
However, authorities here say the measures affect ordinary citizens and hurt the economy. Some U.S. companies have been barred from or penalized for doing business with Zimbabwe, and some international payments destined for this country have been confiscated. The embargoes have also affected the country's risk profile.
Inability to borrow means that Zimbabwe itself is crippled. When you target the very same people who are supposed to drive policy, then you cannot say I am targeting the president, but I am sparing Zimbabwe at large.
In the wake of the isolation, Zimbabwe refocused its foreign policy, scaling up ties with the East, in particular China, whose trade and investment footprint here has spread rapidly.
The look-east policy, yes, it managed to navigate Zimbabwe out of the mess that it found itself in, given that it didn't have any friends, given that the likes of China were also buffers, they were also shields in deterring the United Nations Security Council from militarily intervening.
During his three-day visit, Harrington will meet senior government officials, including the foreign minister, who's previously said Zimbabwe doesn't expect a radical shift in U.S. policy, but would, on its part, continue to implement political and economic reforms. Farai Mwakutuya, CGTN, Harare, Zimbabwe.